So, more specifically, what is visionary leadership? The rhetorical question I've posed here. Why and how is it conducive to organisational decision quality? And what should one do to create it? I've said visionary leadership is not about persuading through bargaining. Okay, it's not about economic incentives. I want my staff to perform better, therefore we'll provide attractive bonuses to meet sales targets, for example. And it's not about imposing through power and authority, getting back to that command leadership style, sort of do it because I said so. Tempting though that may be with your children and so forth, But it's not about those two things. It's not about bargaining and persuading. It's not about imposing power and authority. I've said it's about inspiring through vision and resonating with people's emotions. And I talked at the beginning of the session, of course, about a lot of these ideas being based on emotional intelligence competencies, and that there's this very direct connection between those sorts of feelings and emotions that people experience and decision quality, counterintuitive though that may be. I've said visionary leaders articulate where a group is going and create the sense that everyone is working towards shared goals. So you can see that the hint's in the name again, visionary. They articulate where the group is going very clearly, and they constantly do so to sort of, in a sense, nudge people back on track. Okay, so people understand the direction in which the organisation is moving. And again, create that sense that everyone is working toward shared goals, that we're all in this together, we're all contributing to those objectives, and we know what they are. Okay. I've said they help people to see how their work fits into the bigger picture, lending people a clear sense, not just that what they do matters, but also why. They help staff and employees to buy in, if you like. And that, I think that's a phrase that's been used throughout the session today, to buy into an organisation's long-term goals and strategy. Okay, it's really that, again, priming that good feeling in people by having them understand how their work fits into the bigger picture. So that's a little bit about the visionary leadership style, sort of in a nutshell. And as I said, in the course book that accompanies this session, you can find a lot more about the visionary style if that's something that you'd like to investigate further. And if, I should say, that leadership style resonates with you, okay? And it may not, depending, of course, on your disposition as a manager and as a leader. So why and how is the visionary style conducive to organisational decision quality? I've said, just to quote Boyatzis and McKee again, upbeat moods, research verifies, makes people view others or events in a more positive light. That in turn helps people feel more optimistic about their ability to achieve a goal, enhances creativity and decision-making skills, and predisposes people to be helpful. And I have, of course, highlighted what I think is the most important part of that particular quote for our purposes as people who are interested in increasing or improving organisational decision quality. And that is the idea of enhancing creativity and decision-making skills. What do we think of that, by the way? Is that something that people tend to believe? That if people feel better, their creativity and their ability to make decisions will be improved? Or is that not really something that we buy? What's our experience with that, or our thoughts on that? Any ideas, Leanne?
Yeah, I absolutely believe in that. I think when certainly, you talk about helping people feel more optimistic. Optimism is directly aligned to our ability to think creatively. When we see possibility, when we're optimistic about, being able to find a solution, it's very creative, and people need to feel supported. They need to have optimism, I think, in order to be able to do that. I think when we don't feel hopeful, and I don't think we're feeling positive, I think we look at what's not possible as opposed to seeing what is possible.
So you would suggest that optimism, in a sense, sort of lubricates the wheels of creativity in a mental sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah, compared to that sort of pessimism, not feeling good about the organisation in which you're working, or not being clear, perhaps, about where you're going. Yeah.
So I think, having that clear vision and purpose to know what it is we're trying to achieve and have hope and optimism that that's possible, those two things together allow us to be creative and find different avenues to help us achieve that.
Yeah, yeah.
When we don't know what it is and we're not hopeful that we can even get there,
Yeah.
very hard to be creative.
Absolutely. And that's very much something that the research supports. They've said here that, for example, when people feel good, they work at their best. Feeling good lubricates mental efficiency, making people better at understanding information. So there's that ability to actually understand things more accurately when people are feeling good. And again, this is quite research-based. And that makes people better at using decision rules in complex judgments, as well as more flexible in their thinking. And that's a really crucial component of this. If we think about this training as an attempt to equip those who go through it with knowledge, skills and tools to make better decisions, I would suggest that if people are feeling better at work, they can then tap into those sorts of things much more effectively. And again, there's lots of evidence, and this is something about which I've provided you with a lot of information in the course book to suggest that that resonance, that good feeling among staff, that sort of palpable sense of all working towards a shared goal, for example, and being clear about that goal, is really helpful when it comes to making decisions, surfacing valuable ideas, and of course executing projects and so forth. So as I said, under other things being equal, what the decision analysis community suggests is that visionary leadership style is really helpful for people to be able to improve the quality of the decisions they make.